Hey everybody, I'm Adam,
I'm Michael.
and today we're going to talk about Apple TV Plus, Love, Death, and Robots, because we're bored in Ohio.
It only took you like 4 tries.
I couldn't remember the order.
Love, and then you die, and then there's robots.
Do you become a robot after you die?
No. Well, I mean,
That'd be interesting.
technically, depends on. It's a great. Tim Miller created it.
Oh, the Deadpool guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of directors and a bunch of people that did a bunch of shorts. They're just all shorts, like 15, 20 minutes long each, and they're amazing.
Oh, so is it like little vignettes, kind of like a Sin City, where they're separate stories?
Yeah, they're all separate stories. They don't all link together either.
Okay. Do some of them link together?
I mean, I guess technically you could say that they could be potentially in the same world for some of them. Some of them are all CGI animation. Some of them have a mix between live action.
Let's back up.
Okay.
We're talking about Love, Death, and Robots. We'll start with that.
Sorry, I thought.
just to,
Some of
to
them are
be abundantly clear.
cartoon,
Okay.
Some of them look very anime-ish. Some of them not so much. But some of them look like it's the Walking Dead and the Telltale. Those games. Mm-hmm. Some of them look like that style.
Almost kind of like cell shaded ish.
Yeah, and they're very NC-17.
I'm sure.
Almost every one of
So
them.
this is more like a heavy metal.
Yeah, actually, yes, and that was something that Tim Miller gave him the idea of doing these type of. But you're gonna love it. All this, I don't think there was a single short story that I didn't really like, and there's 18 of them. And they're really like you could take almost all of them and make a full blown movie out of any of them.
Are they like half hour?
Yeah, they're like 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long.
Okay.
Some of them even shorter than that.
Okay.
Yes, I think some of them are only like 7 or 8 minutes long.
Does Netflix break those up as episodes?
Yeah, individually, yeah. And you can just keep hitting the next as soon as one ends, and it immediately pops into the next one. It's great.
That's cool because that sounds like something Kara's not going to be interested in.
She might be. Some of them are very sci-fi. Some of them are very action-oriented. Some of them horror-ish. Nothing that'll scare the pants off her by any means. Some of them are more very dark humor. You're going to absolutely love it.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been watching shows that I know she doesn't have any interest in whatsoever during the day when I'm doing stuff around the house, since I'm in between contract right now.
Yeah.
I just finished watching season 2 of Big Mouth. That's an animated show. Well, the thing is, I think you'd appreciate parts of it because it's incredibly wrong humor.
And when you say that, it intrigues me a little bit. But I have no interest in watching your horse Jack talking.
BoJack Horseman.
That's it.
That's just like a psychological nightmare. Like if you actually have like depression and you watch that show, you might off yourself. Like, it gets dark. But Big Mouth is just raunchy fucking humor, but it's done in kind of a funny, like a smart-ish way, because it's about kids like going through puberty.
Yeah. Oh.
But it's like so raunchy and like how this one character like fucks his couch cushions.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
I know, it's based off of you. That's why I brought it up. I thought you would connect with that character.
I do connect. I understand it.
And the cushions are like talking to him, like, "Yeah, I'll suck you off."
Oh man.
And like
that would have helped. Did he get rug burn from the?
No,
I did.
God damn it.
I mean, it was painful.
But it's all these thoughts and all this hormone shit that you went through when you were going through puberty, and like there's the hormone monster, which is Will Arnett, who is perfect. Like whenever I love it because like whenever somebody like steps in on like territory, if he thinks like this is my chick, all of a sudden he's like fucking rage, break his dick off.
What's the style look like?
I'm not as hopped up on the look, like their style for their animation.
Yeah.
Just I don't like the character design. They got like weird shaped. Their bodies are kind of weird shaped. But they don't shy away from like they showed nudity. They show.
What is this on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, it's a Netflix series? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's like Nick Kroll and John Mulaney, I think, are the main creators. And it's hilarious. But it's just so wrong.
And how long are these episodes?
Yeah, typical. I think like they end up being like 25 minutes.
Okay. When's Rick and Morty start again? Not that I give a shit.
You absolutely give a shit. You've been counting down the days. You don't even know what you're counting down to. If it ends up anything like last season, people are speculating July-ish maybe.
Oh, so it would be this year at least.
Well, if I guess Roiland, has shared like images of him in like the sound booth and everything, and if they're doing vocal recordings, that means they're getting pretty far along.
Yeah.
And back like around Christmas, they were sending animatics off to final animators who will animate the actual scenes. So theoretically, yeah, it could be July-ish.
Speaking of shows, that's just occurred to me. I would have told you this for the intro. I finished the season 3 of True Detective, dismally depressed. It was not what I'd hoped it would be.
Oh.
And let me tell you, when I began the, 10 episodes, 8 episodes, whatever the hell it was, and the way that they're doing it, I don't know if you know how the show is done this particular season, but they jump between 3 timelines every episode.
I figured they were doing, well, I didn't know they did every episode, but you could definitely tell in the trailer they're jumping between him old and
him
young.
I want to say him 30, then maybe him, I forget the timeline. I jump maybe 40s, and then when he's older, and it's just constant. They constantly jump between all 3 to tell the story, and there was no point to doing it that way. I don't give a shit when anybody says you could have told the same damn story the same way, but the ending, nothing was satisfying. It was great acting, and it was shot really well, but the story was just, ugh. Oh. I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit at the end of it. I just wanted it to be over. And the weird ass fucking ending to that show. I'm talking about the last shot, and you can sit around and tell me all the psychological this, that, and what that scene actually meant when they showed. I'll just say this: Marshala is in the jungle because he was in the army at one point.
Okay.
And just walks into the brush, disappears.
Okay.
Yeah, and what the fuck does that have to do? And you give me all the artistic bullshit you want to tell me.
So you're telling me they were trying too hard for something symbolic.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense to me because Nick Pelicato, whatever the fuck his name is, I really like his stuff a lot. Mm-hmm. And his writing is really good. His directing is really, really good. But no, I was pissed at the end of this show. Oh, and you know what else I watched? Sorry, because I don't watch a lot of shows. We've been recording The Passage, which I love those books.
Isn't that on Hulu?
It might be.
With Aaron Paul?
But we DVR.
I'm thinking of something else.
Thinking of something else. This is the Vampire series, the book series I read. It's 3 books.
Okay.
Great books. But what the fuck is that guy's name? Shit. What's the high school series? It would have been during your teenage.
Freaks and Geeks?
Not that one. Saved by the Bell.
Okay.
So the guy that played Zach, the blonde, the main guy, he's a detective in this series. Do you know nothing about this book series? It's actually really, really interesting way of doing vampires. I'm not going to go into it. We could talk the whole show on what the damn thing's about, but so what it was, they were all DVR'd, and Claire's never going to come down and watch this shit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see if they even did it any justice. No, it's fucking terrible. The whole show is it is terrible. So these.
What network is it on?
Fox, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Fox. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't stop looking at him, thinking he's gonna do some high school shenanigans or something, or where's the hot girlfriend, or Anyway, And where's the showgirls girl? Anyway, I'm trying to tell you, the show it's fucking boring as hell. And the whole cool thing about these vampires, without going into all the storyline about it, is that they're human for a period of time. And then eventually they turn into these full-fledged monster-looking ones, except for the original guy. Okay.
Okay.
And they do the justice of, at the end of the season is when that first book, halfway through the book, it jumps, I want to say 40 years. It jumps a significant number of years into the future. And then that's where it carries on to the rest of the other two books. They do jump the very last episode. They do the jump. I go, okay, cool. Now I can stop seeing these human vampires because this is not what this is about. And they jump and they show the girl that's the main character really throughout the whole series. And she's got her bow and arrow like she does in the book. And she's shooting human vampires still. And I'm like, I'm not watching this fucking show.
They're not gonna.
I don't care.
Cover up.
Don't. Even the way Zero became infected, it's not done right.
If they did this on a premium channel like HBO or Showtime, I would expect them to stay truer to that because people are paying for the service anyway. This is something on network TV, if you're correct, where people aren't paying shit to watch it.
Don't do the fucking show if you're not going to do it right.
I don't disagree with you, but that's a business decision to still see the pretty people's faces and not have them turn into ugly vampires.
The show is boring. Look, you know how I was watching this show? I swear to God, this is true. I watched the first half of the first episode out of the 10 of them, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. So
but you did it anyway.
But no, so I was like, you know what? I know the story. I'm going to see if they start doing this shit right. I put on double fast forward, watch through, hit play when I was like, okay, here comes a vampire moment. Nope, dumb as shit. Fast forward, end, delete. Go to the next one. I fast forward through the entire thing. It was
that
so
sounds
fucking
like
dumb.
a way to really just waste your life.
I was wasted. And wasted my life.
You're an idiot. Let's go back to the Love, Death, and Robots.
Okay, yeah.
Now you said like there's like CG, there's animated. Is there any live action?
There is. There's one stylistically that is live action, but it's really interesting filter on one of them. It's called The Witness, and the story is actually pretty clever too. You have to see that one specifically. I think it's like maybe the third or fourth one in. They do this stylization over their bodies and faces. It's really interesting. You need to see it.
It's not like that trend that was around for a little while, a few years back.
With Keanu Reeves movie?
Yeah.
It's a different take of doing that kind of thing.
Like basically like they went through and did vector art over still frames.
It is like that, but it's different.
Okay.
But it's not completely removed from that style. Like there is some of that there.
Okay.
And then there is one episode that has who's the guy that played Venom in the terrible Spider-Man 3 movie?
Topher Grace.
Thank you. Topher Grace is in it, which is kind of a fucked up little story itself. And that is live action when they're showing those actors and not when they're showing this other thing that's happening during it. But I'm telling you, you're going to love it and you will binge it straight through. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to move on to... Because you didn't watch this event. Since I'm an Apple fanboy, of course I watched their
I think this is the first one I didn't watch. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know it was happening. I had no clue.
So yeah, Apple had their event and they're charging forth into the content creation realm with Apple TV Plus, which...
Do you think they're trying to compete with Disney? Or are going to try to compete with Disney, I should say.
I no. I don't think that their competition is necessarily they're seeing themselves against Disney. I think they're really seeing themselves against like HBO and Netflix more so. Which, in Apple fashion, they touted like this is the place that they want for the best stories and the best creators to have their, content. Because with Apple, like, of course, they're doing everything that they do is the best.
Right.
But it's interesting because they didn't really show any footage of the shows. They just
have they already shot some of them?
They're, I don't know if any of them have wrapped, but they have all at least been shooting.
Is there? And I assume there's this subscription service you're going to have to pay. Did they say what that was?
Nope. Speculation, because like since there was so little to see, like they had people from the shows come out and talk about them, basically pitch their show to the audience.
Were they known to? I mean, did you know who any of them were?
Yeah, every single one of them.
Oh, okay.
Speculation is that this was basically for shareholders, like for,
oh yeah, that makes
for them
sense.
to be like, hey, we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like iPhone sales are declining, but we're doing this shit with all these big fucking names, and it's going to bring in money. So I think this was to appease shareholders more than anything, because I think they just showed a little bit of footage of the Jason Momoa project they have going on.
What's that?
It's called C, and it's a sci-fi epic. It's a series where some cataclysmic event happens and all humans lose their eyesight, and it picks up down the line after that when humans have like adapted to live without sight and what that world looks like.
So everyone is blind.
Everyone is blind.
It's not like a Vin Diesel badass pitch blackness.
No, every single person apparently is blind. Of course, with the little footage we've seen, like, of course, maybe there's somebody that gets their eyesight. It might be that might be like the kind of like Children of Men, like when all of a sudden a woman got pregnant again.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm talking to my ass, but
Does Jason Momoa still look buff as hell?
yeah.
How's he able to work out still if he's blind?
Well, you can still pick up something and be like, "Oh, this is heavy."
Well, how's he gonna? Well, he's gonna sit around, pick up a couch when he finds the edge of a couch, and I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotta fit the world, man. You
Sure.
can't have Arnold Schwarzenegger in this
Sure you
type.
can.
Of, no, it's bullshit.
If anything, you would think things might take a little more physicality because you have to be alert. But I mean, their senses are probably have adapted to the point where they can smell their way around or hear their way around or some shit.
Is there something that's trying to kill them?
I have no idea.
I'm already bored.
Like
I don't want to
said,
see this show.
They showed so little. Like they just gave you the high concept of everyone's blind, and it's picked up, down the line when people have adapted. That's all you know. But the first person that came out was Spielberg to announce that he's resurrecting a brand that's like from the 1920s, like I can't even remember what it was. Like Amazing Things or I don't know, some like old serialized thing like that was in a magazine that his dad would show him and
Like
stuff.
a show. He's making a show out of it.
Yes, he's making a show out of it.
Oh, I think I know what I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But go on.
But
That's the same motherfucker that just bitches and bitches
that's
about
what's
Netflix.
so ironic is now he's making content for a streaming service when he just was like, Netflix movies shouldn't be allowed to get Oscars.
So that means he doesn't want his shit to get any awards.
Well, he's making it a TV series, so he's like, he's fine with it getting Emmys because it's a television thing. He considers Netflix movies like telemovies, and they should not be up for the Oscars. They should be up for Emmys.
That's bullshit.
I agree, but that's because he's old
Yeah.
and set in his ways. But he announced that they had Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston come out talking about their series that's called like Good Morning America, or not Good Morning America. That would be stupid because that's an actual fucking thing. But it's like about morning talk shows, and Steve Carell's in it too. So
Damn it. See, I was not interested until you said that, and then I'm like,
and I have to say, Jennifer Aniston, like, stop getting plastic surgery. She looked a little like her face was like stretched to the point where she looked a little scared.
Really?
Yeah, well, she's been getting plastic
I
surgery.
haven't seen images of her. I haven't even seen. I think the last thing
I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as Courtney Cox went. Holy shit!
I haven't even seen her, but I haven't seen Jennifer Aniston physically, except Horrible Bosses was the last thing I saw her in.
Yeah, I mean, she was getting it back then too, but it wasn't at like I don't know if she had something done recently, but like she looked a little, I don't know,
Man,
but yeah, Steve Carell's in it. And that one's probably, I mean, it's going to be about the dynamic between men and women.
so it's Anchorman.
But definitely not Will Ferrell silly style, I'd say. Which I think you'll start to see a theme of like at least some of these stories they're either tackling like social things.
Yeah.
Like it's like Apple trying to be poignant, like we can learn through our content kind of thing. Like, well, we get to learn through the stories that we're telling. They're trying to tell relevant stories to learn lessons about shit going on in the world. That's what I'm gathering.
Oh, okay.
Except for like Spielberg's thing is more like just a. They're either doing
amazing
genre
stories or something. I
yeah,
know what
I
you're
think it's
talking
amazing
about.
stories.
Yeah.
They're either doing like genre stuff or this like kind of social commentary stuff.
Okay.
Because then Kumail Nanjiani came out.
Why do I know that name?
He's been a lot. He's a comedian, Pakistani.
Okay.
And he's in Silicon Valley. I don't know if you've ever seen Commercial Effects. I know you haven't watched that show.
I've watched an episode.
Okay, he's the Pakistani guy.
Okay, I'm trying to remember exactly what it looks like.
And he was in that movie that got a lot of good reviews, and I had seen it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It's a true story.
Yes,
about him and his wife.
About him and his wife, yeah.
I can't remember the name of that.
I can't either, but I remember it. Yeah, I remember.
Big Sick, that's what it was called. But he came out, and he's doing a series that it sounds like it's actually like a series of documentaries telling about the stories of immigrants, like specific immigrants. So
how's that going to be interesting? I'm not saying it's not important. I completely agree that that's an important thing, but I'm saying what's going to make me want to watch that?
Well, 'cause, I mean, all the stories aren't going to be the same. It's been about, like he said, there's some that are like romantic, some that are this or this or this or this. And I think obviously the point of that is to show that immigrants aren't some crazy, weird outside entity. They're people that have the same experience as us. I think that's what I'm telling you. Like the theme of these is some kind of like social thing that you're learning
every
about.
one of them except for Amazing Stories, because Amazing Stories is basically Twilight Zone in a more family friendly setting in a way without the extra weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's either genre or these kind of things that I'm seeing so far.
I'm gonna have to look all this shit
At least
up.
the stuff that they announced. And then Abrams came out with...
Abrams is doing shit with them? I mean, who isn't? Well, because Apple can afford to pay.
They must have spent a shitload of money.
Yeah.
I ain't even to like the big money spend yet. Abrams came out with the singer Sarah Bareilles, and they're teaming up. Well, Kara likes her a lot. I think she was in that live action Jesus Christ Superstar.
I definitely didn't see that shit. I hated it. I got taken to that play.
I know you don't like musicals anyway.
No, fuck that thing.
Anyway, they're doing something together where she's a producer and like she composed the music for it, but that one's about a young woman like entering the music world and the trials and whatever of that.
Wasn't there already a TV series called Sing or Sang or some shit like that a few years ago about the same fucking thing?
You realize that all things have been done before,
I'm
right?
tired of this shit, man. This rinse and repeat of shit.
And I already talked about the Jason Momoa thing. I don't know if there's any other...
It's like, listen to me, listeners, all thousands of you. Adam's got these graphic novels that he's got in his like bookcase type deal thing to my left. And every fucking one of these things, almost all of them haven't even been touched. There's all these cool, interesting ideas. They haven't done it. I thought they were supposed to do Chew. Wasn't something supposed to come out with Chew?
They were supposed to do a TV series of Chew.
They never did that.
With that one guy from The Lost. I don't know his name, but he would have been perfect.
And Hack and Slash, man. Ever since Faz
Hack and Slash was supposed to be made into a movie or TV series.
That is a fun thing to do. Why haven't they done that shit?
I don't know. I mean, Sci-Fi does have a series of Deadly Class, which I like the creator of that.
Did you start watching The Umbrella Company?
Not yet.
I did. I actually enjoy it. But
Munson watched the whole thing.
Oh, did he?
He liked it a lot.
Oh, so it doesn't shit the bed by the end.
I'm pretty sure he said it was pretty good throughout. But back to the Apple thing.
Sorry. Go ahead.
They saved the big guns for last. I have no idea how much money it took to do this. But the last person, because it would go black in the studio, and then like the lights would come on and be a new creator.
It sounds like they're doing WWE shit. Like the lights go down and then there's the wrestler appeared out of nowhere on the.
Yeah, they did that every time they unveiled something new.
It's fucking stupid. All right, go on.
The last one, and they like Tim Cook did the whole like one more thing kind of deal. It all goes black when it comes back up. Goddamn Oprah.
Oh fuck.
They got Oprah.
How in the hell could they? I don't even. They've.
Like I said, like she doesn't need any money.
No.
So it had to be something crazy substantial. So when she came out, things that she's doing for them, it sounds like 3 things. She's working on 2 documentaries, and then, she's all about her book club, like doing a book club show. It sounds like, where she's actually interviewing the author about the book.
Have you ever actually watched an Oprah show ever in your life? Even one?
Yes, I have.
I've watched a snippet. You know what I watched? The Tom Cruise jumping on a couch because some city acted like a goddamn idiot. And I'm like, I got to see that.
Well, that was hilarious.
And I'm like, yeah, when he lost his fucking marbles. Anyway, go on.
Oprah is a fine person. She does a lot of good stuff.
No, she is, but...
I don't like her as an interviewer. I hate it.
Oh, is she bad? She doesn't ask the right stuff. It should be Howard Stern. Why did they bring fucking Howard Stern out and say he's going to fucking interview some book people? I'd like to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then you just listen to his fucking radio show.
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing I don't like about Oprah is when she interviews people, she starts to answer for them. At least in the several clips that I've watched of her show, like I feel like she asks a question and they'll start to answer it and she kind of finishes it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Just let them talk.
Yeah.
But I know she does a lot of great things, so I'm not going to begrudge her too much. But, I mean, they're like, Apple's like, we got Oprah. You're going to pay for this shit now. We got Oprah.
Nothing you said makes me want to watch any of what you just said.
Well, that doesn't surprise me because I can't really say much because they just literally had people come out and give the elevator pitch of the show.
When's this shit supposed to start? September?
I think in the fall. But they didn't say anything about pricing. They didn't show any footage besides a little bit of the Jason Momoa one.
Yeah.
And like I said, like this was more for shareholders probably to be like, hey, stuff's coming. We got big names. We got this, that, and the other. We got these big, creatives involved with us. It's going to be great.
I'm thinking it's not going to be overwhelmingly pricey. Here's why. Because I have the Apple Music. We do the family sharing thing.
Yeah.
It's $14.99. It's a great deal. I can download any fucking album or song I want, and it's mine as long as I keep that subscription.
Yeah.
And it's great for the kids because my kids are constantly downloading shit. And it got really expensive where they're like, can I buy this song? Can I buy this song? So for us, it was good. I would think because they've got the licensing for all these artists to let people use, these songs and it's only $14.99 a month, that this TV series should be probably roughly about the same, I would think. Plus, they'd have to compete against...
I think it's going to be less than that.
Like 10?
I think it might be less than that.
Well, shit, if it's less than that, I might check it out.
The speculation, with Apple, like usually they charge a premium anyway. They might try to say that their content's so good that it's worth a certain price. But unlike Netflix, which Netflix is like $10 a month, or Hulu, which is $10 a month, besides content, you get a library of other shit.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be what's happening with Apple. I think it's literally just their content.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That's why they wouldn't charge as much. Yeah.
So if that's the case, I would expect it to be cheaper than both of those services. But since it's so limited what information they actually brought out about it, because I don't think it's coming until the fall, I can't say if they're going to have a library of other shit or not. And if they do, it's not going to be as much because everyone's creating their own streaming services. Yeah. Disney's pulling their shit from Netflix sometime
Disney
this year.
Disney will not have any of my money. I have no interest at all of watching anything they're going to do. Literally anything. I don't even think they could pull me in with a Spider-Man show. I literally mean that.
I don't think they're going to do a Spider-Man show.
And why the fuck didn't they put the Mandalorian on that Disney Plus thing?
They are.
I thought that was going to be set for like one of their cable ones that they own. No,
Nope,
it is
that
going to be
is
on there.
set for Disney Plus.
Hey, I'm not going to watch it then. No, I don't give a shit. And the bad thing is, I like that actor.
Yeah, I
So as soon as they said him, I'm like, fuck, I'll watch this.
like I told you, I'm more excited for that show than the next Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm actually interested in a live action Star Wars movie in general, because I think you can do a lot with that. You can do far more character development, which has been a problem in recent Star Wars films. The prequels, like, major. This new trilogy, they've done better than the prequels, but still, like, I don't care about several of the characters.
Yeah.
Like,
The Rebels show, the animated series, Ethan, when he was into it, he got out of it after a while, but when he was into that, I'm like, this is actually pretty well
I've
written.
always heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that brings up another point. Since everybody and their brother is bringing out their own streaming service, I mean, the whole dream was, for the cable cutters was like, I can just pay for what I want.
Yeah.
But when everyone starts making their own,
You got to pay for all of them.
you got to pay for all of them. And there are people that'll do that, and they're not going to save any money. But
I'm paying for fucking cable and Hulu and Amazon Prime and fucking Netflix. Claire is subscribed to everything on the goddamn planet.
yeah, that's fine.
But I have cable only for me. Like, I have it for my sports, and that's
Right.
it. So it's like, I'm actually wasting my own money on myself just so I can
Do you
watch
just
a
watch
football game. when I want.
ESPN?
I watch CNN and ESPN. Oh, and I watch the History Channel. You gotta
might-
give me some of them swamp people. You gotta chew it.
You might be able to subscribe to just those channels on the new Apple TV platform too.
Oh, really?
It
Well,
would.
in that
It wouldn't
case-
be I think that's separate from the Apple TV Plus. They're calling it Apple TV channels, where they have a very, very limited amount of channels that you can buy separately, including like HBO, Showtime, which was no big new thing because you can already do that. But
Sure.
I think History Channel was there. And I don't know if they had any of those sports though. If they do though, then you could just buy them separately and not pay for cable.
I'd be into that. Yeah, because I literally watch nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, other than HBO. I mean, HBO, there's many shows in there that I...
Yeah, but see, if consumers were like a little smarter, they would just be like, oh, I'll buy Showtime, this show that I was interested in, just finished. I will buy it for a month and then tank it.
Yeah.
That's how like people who would be a little more frugal could navigate the system and make it work. But in my experience, people are just lazy and they're not going to do that. So they'll be like, oh, I want this show and this one and this show, and they'll pay for it all.
Yeah.
All
like,
year long.
Like me. Yeah. Like what I've been doing. I'm funding all these fuckers.
Like I'm waiting for American Gods season 2 to be in.
Didn't even watch the first one. I read the book.
I heard it's good,
I like...
and Ian McShane's in it.
But Claire said, don't waste your time.
Really?
To me. But she knew how much I did enjoy the book.
Okay.
So we both, I mean, she watched, I guess, the whole first season, I think. I forget. And I was like, oh, I need to watch that still. She's like, don't. She's like, there's some stuff that's okay, but she's like, they don't follow the story exactly.
So it's probably better for a person like me who's never read the book.
Yeah, I bet you, yeah.
And
I
just
liked the way it
interested in the
looked.
world.
I liked the way it looked when I saw some of the screenshots and you know the trailers and stuff for it. And Ian McShane is in it, and that one dude
that
I
on
fucking love.
Stars or Showtime?
Oh shit!
It might be on Stars.
It might be on Stars.
Which means it might come to Netflix because Ash versus Evil Dead is on Netflix. Only the first 2 seasons. I still haven't been able to finish that series.
God, man, it's so funny.
Oh, I know. I'm going to finish it when it becomes available.
All right, I got to tell you one more thing before we end this, since we're about that time.
Is this the secretive thing? You're like, I got to talk to you about something else, but we'll wait till this is recording.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
sure.
Claire, my lovely wife, about a week ago, no, 2 weeks ago now, she was on vacation last week.
She left you.
No, that'd be cause for. So what we're doing is we're gonna go part. No, she was talking to somebody at work, a person that she works with a lot, and she said that her friend was like, "Yeah, I've got this friend that has they're gonna start doing a podcast," and she was like, Michael does a podcast, right? And she's like, "Oh my God, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, they talk about like I don't know, like because Claire's never listened to the show, not ever."
I know.
She's like, they talk like I don't know, TVs and movies or some shit. And she's like, yeah, here. So she's like, because she was like, well, what are they called? She's like, I'm born in Ohio or something. We've got like 40 fucking episodes. My wife's never listened to. Anyway, so she pulls one up randomly, doesn't pick one specifically. I forget even which one it was. She puts it on. She's like, I started listening to you. I'm 3 minutes in, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy that's talking? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you sound like that SNL skit on about sweaty balls. I said, what? She said, yeah, you and Adam sound like the two women in SNL.
They sound like women?
Because they talk like this. And
we're not doing like...
And we really like, I would like to have
ASMR.
I like balls. Do you like balls? And I go, we don't fucking talk like that. She's like, pull up that skit right now. So I pulled up the skit, and, because Ethan had never seen it. Because Ethan's defending us. Well, because he wants to be on the show again.
Yeah.
She's like, play that. I go, that is not what we sound like. She's like, you are a high energy, screaming at everybody, cussing away type person 24/7. She's like, you put your mouth in front of that damn microphone. I can just see you and Adam now. And you both start talking like this. I was like, that's not how we fucking sound. Do we sound like that?
No.
No, we don't. That pissed me the fuck off. And she's like, you tell Adam. You tell Adam on that next podcast you do. Which, by the way, was last night. She's like, well, you talk to Adam. You tell him you guys sound like sweaty balls.
That's funny. But I'm not going to take the opinion of someone who's listened to maybe 3 minutes of our show.
Yeah, Ethan was like, no, that
Sorry,
episode...
Claire. Not counting.
He's like, Mom, you got to listen to about the rhino bitch. Dad goes off about that.
Yeah,
or
you did.
Last Jedi. Or
you went off on that, and I cut a good portion of it.
You cut like 40 minutes off.
You got fucking crazy with it.
You need to put that back on. You silenced me.
I don't regret it. You went a bit far. I left in some stuff for you. You can rage.
I was
every now and again, but if you go too far, I got to pull the reins.
This should be a free and open environment that you and I are sitting in.
It is relatively.
I didn't realize we're within your rule zone here.
Well, if you're beating a dead horse, sometimes I hide some of the horse.
That was a large portion of the horse.
You made your
you left
point,
like the hooves,
and you just because you're like a hammer, right? You're like, you're going to keep nailing that nail until it is just, you can't see it anymore. Like, it's okay. It's sunk.
I need to make sure my opinion has gotten through to everybody in the room, or in this case, listening.
They got it.
We do not sound like sweaty balls.
No, we don't. I might sound a little more like it. But I don't get as hot and bothered as you about certain things. I think that was probably more of a comment on you than me, because you got your thing where you'll be like talking about something and you'll be like, and then what? And then fuck that shit. I don't really do that.
No, I get upset, man. I get upset. It just starts to build. I got to let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Apple thing. Well, let's recap.
All right.
So apparently we've learned we should watch Love, Death, and Robots.
Amazing. I honestly don't think anybody wouldn't love it.
Okay. That Apple has entered the content world, but we still have no idea how good any of this shit's going to be, even though they got some really good content creators. But hard to say anything about that. But It's interesting because, they're, $1 trillion company, and they could easily make waves in that realm if they want to, because they can just keep throwing money at it until it makes money.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting world that we live in with all these different streaming services. I don't know if it's better or worse. I'm going to still say better, but...
I say we should start streaming our podcast while we record it and charge $20 for people to watch it.
I don't know how to do that.
Per episode.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I'll give you my PayPal account.
Fuck off. You got anything going on, bud?
Still writing.
The parenting book, right?
The parenting book. And I redid my porch the last week when on spring break vacation.
Spring bake?
Spring bake.
Getting high?
Did some baking.
Getting high and doing some
tile work.
Got high
while I did some tile work, yeah.
Yeah, spring bake, baby. Me, no art stuff right now. Like you can see the fruits of my labors in this room right
looks
now.
Pretty.
Our good friend Kyle Brown helped me out a lot, and he taught me about electrical work because I've never done electrical work. He showed me how to wire up one of these dimmers, and I did the rest, and it was nice. He's gonna come help me with the other light fixture. It's looking sexy in here.
So you're letting all our listeners know that Kyle is available to hire for free.
Kyle's a good man.
To come out. And...
No, he can do it for anybody else.
That man hasn't done shit for me. He came out and helped move a shed. All right.
Fuck that shit. That was like moving a small house. Luckily, I wasn't there for most.
Dude, that sucked. All right, are you it? Are you done?
Yeah, that's all I got going.
And you got contracting possibly again soon.
Yeah, hopefully that's getting ironed out soon.
All right. Well, until next time, thank you for letting us go fuck your eardrums.
Oh, come on.
Because we're born in Ohio. You let me go out any way I want. Rein that one in, bitch.